Alright, good morning everyone, and welcome back to the Gen Con stream. We are going to be playing Trouble Brewing with an ogre on it instead of a butler, which someone, I think on Reddit, was like, we should call this That'll Brew Donkey, and I loved that, not least because it lets me do a terrible accent. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're gonna see how it is. We had a request to add a marionette to it as well, so who knows if it goes well, maybe we'll be back with this and a marionette next week. But yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Let's set up a game. We should pressing the wrong button. So we're at 10 players today, and because we have 10 players, I think there are two directions that I could see this game going. One is we could put in a baron, which means we can have an ogre. Two is we could put in a spy and then put in a librarian who sees the spy and another player as the ogre, which I think might potentially be very fun. So I'm not totally sure which one of those I want to do, but I really like the idea of having that as an option. I'm not totally sure. And yes, just to talk about it, I think with this sort of script, having the butler out for the ogre, I think it's the closest comparison point, because the saint, you kind of need to give that sort of, wait a second, maybe it's not so good to execute balance, because there are characters like the Undertaker that benefit heavily from executing. The Saint is also great as a bluff. The Recluse is needed for the misinformation. The Drunk, obviously, is the Drunk. It's the best character in the game. So there's a lot of characters that are the best character in the game, but the Drunk is the best character in the game. Like, you can't get rid of the Drunk. Whereas the Butler, I think, has a more similar function to the Ogre in that, like, thematically, you are tied to someone else. Like, you cannot sort of effectively play your game without the other player also having an impact on how you're playing the game. So I like that it's both thematically similar and doesn't remove any of the other necessary mechanics that you get out of the other outsiders on the script. Actually, we could do a spy and a baron. I'm quite happy with that. I tend to, especially with more experienced player groups and most specifically online, and if my players watch this back, then they'll know and they can meta that. That's fine. I will ever so often put in both the spy and the poisoner, but I tend to not put in both because I just don't think that is the best, most balanced decision that you can make at a more experienced player count online specifically. I'm not hosting TPI again this week. Ben Burns is back from UKGE and ready to go. You will all have a great time with him. But what I am doing this week behind the scenes is I am starting to record a couple of episodes with my larger Gen Con crew because I'm going to be traveling down to Australia for the Sydney, Australia Clocktower Con at the end of the month. So I'm not going to be able to stream while I'm in Australia, but I talked to the folks over at Gen Con and I was like, how can we still create some content for everyone? And so we're going to be recording a bunch of episodes and then we'll pick the best ones and those will air on Gen Con while I'm in Australia so that you still get to watch really fun games. So yes, oh yeah, not Ben, Dave, obviously. All the Daves in the chat and all the Daves on the stream. It turned out, because I have crazy ADHD, and I was reading back the chat after that game, it turned out there was actually a person called Dave in the chat. This is still gonna make no sense to anyone who didn't see last week's stream from the Pandemonium Institute, but it's fine. Let's set up this game. I think let's have a drunk. I think let's have not a Raven Keeper because there's a spy. I don't always do this, but I find that like sometimes when there is a Raven Keeper and a spy, you sort of sit there as the Raven Keeper and you're like, oh good, my ability is live till final 3 and then get murdered by the town. And I don't want that for a Raven Keeper today. So let's have a mayor. I really like that the town can't do anything about this mayor. And I think that'll be interesting to try and push on. I think let's also have, I think I kind of only want a soldier if they're drunk, so maybe let's hold off on that. Let's have, like, lots of powerful townsfolk, because there's a spy, and they can deal with that, and maybe one of them can be drunk. And then we just need 2 more townsfolk. One of these townsfolk will also be drunk. I think we can put in a librarian, because if we need it for misinformation, we can do a sneaky thing where we ping the librarian off of the spy to show them one of the other outsiders. So I don't mind that. I think I'm gonna avoid Virgin today. I was thinking about this, I was toying, because I love the Virgin. The Virgin's such a fun character. I was playing games with some new friends. Last week I went down to LA to run some games for a group of mostly new players, and in those games the Poisoner basically got cornered into nominating the Virgin on the first day, and then I had role swapped as the librarian with the Undertaker, and she then saw him as the Poisoner, and it was this like really cool, really interesting interaction. So I do really love the Virgin, but I think in this setup I want to avoid it, just because I think I want the spy to be able to lean into the outsiders a little bit more. So let's not have a Virgin. We could have... You know what? Let's have a chef, and then let's give Recluse as a bluff, I think. To let them lean into a Baron. Do I like this? Am I happy with this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's stick with this. I think this will be good. And then we can kind of see what's going on with everyone else. Alternatively, we could switch that chef out for a drunk soldier and then have the librarian ping off of the spy, and like whoever of the empath, fortune teller, and Undertaker we think is nah, let's leave it this way. Or okay, we're doing this now. Librarian out, soldier in. We'll do a drunk soldier, and then they can bluff librarian. Yeah. Am I happy with this? This is one of those things where I'm like, I could do lots of things. I think this will be really interesting. So let's try it and see what happens. All right. Oh, we got another Rob G. Imp. Lorinda's back to being evil. I think this will be good. Yes. Jules can be the drunk soldier. Ooh, Will is the ogre. That'll be quite fun. I have no idea who he's going to pick, and I think he's got a lot of good options. Amy is the Baron. Arif is the mayor, which is very on brand after the atheist games last week. Or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what those were. Yeah, this'll be good. Let's go say hi to all the players, and then we can send everyone to sleep and start finishing our setup.
Exactly.
All right, you should all have roles. You can also say hi to chat, but also go to sleep.
Chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Good night.
Cool. They can still see you. Just you
Good
can't see
night,
each other.
chat.
All right. So we have, oh yes, I know there are a lot of Survivor people who have been playing. I think there's a guy from one of the, I don't actually know anything about Survivor, but they've been like really interactive on social media, which has been really fun to see. I run all of the Clocktower social media channels, which also, I'm just going to say this now because it's a really silly goal that I thought about a few weeks ago when I noticed what our follower count was at on Instagram, but we're really close to having 6,666 followers on Instagram, and today is June 6th, so that's just like a goal that I have because I think it'd be funny and for no other reason. So if you don't follow our Instagram and you do use social media, you should go do that, because then we can achieve this goal that has literally no reason other than I thought it would be funny because we play this little demon horror game, and like, you know, 666 is a demon number. So yeah, let's finish this setup so that we can play a game of demons and horror and comedy and everything else. I think let's see. Let's put in that librarian because I like the idea of giving them the option to bluff that there's a drunk where there is not. Let's see. We can, yeah, I think Ravenkeeper's sort of a default, but it's not worse than any of the other things. And then we can do, I think, yeah, let's go with Recluse just to give them that option. Honestly, they have a spy. They'll know what's out of play, and giving Rob these 3 to start isn't not great, but it's not terrible. And he's an experienced player. I think he can handle it. Okay, so we will need a red herring for George, which I think we can maybe put... on Aerith. Looking around going, where will this be the most damaging? Because these are experienced players and they can handle it. That's actually all we need for setup. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Claire is going to get a 1, which will be quite strong with Daniel. That's going to be a bit tough. Yeah, so we definitely do want that red herring on the mayor because I think that's going to be the most helpful, strongest thing for that team. We could, instead of having a drunk soldier, we could make Daniel the drunk empath and give him a 1. That might be better in this setup. Let's see. I will send out the minion and demon info and we can think about it. Because I'm less, looking at this, I'm like, drunk soldier maybe isn't the strongest thing in the world. But, nah, they have a spy. Let's keep it. So, we could do a drunk chef, actually, and say a 0, which might help. But I'm thinking about where people are sitting. I don't think it's terrible because I think the 1, and knowing that there might be a drunk, I think they can work with it. And we've given Recluse as a bluff. So, like, if Rob takes Recluse, which, again, he might not know to do because he's not necessarily going to be able to talk to Lorinda right away. If Rob takes Recluse, that might make Amy could out evil, and then I think they still have enough to play with. And worst case, we'll just run a speed TB after, so it's fine. Let's get Amy in here.
So
I think we can agree on that. This game is a
yeah, it's
battle
never
zone.
going to happen,
Wait.
right? It's a 0
Baron.
outsiders, so there's no Baron.
Definitely.
Hello.
I don't know if
Of
you
course
can
there's no
notice.
Baron. I like that we came back to chat. We had no idea what people were talking about. The first thing we hear is, there is no Baron. Of course there's not a Baron. Why would there be an outsider in this game of Trouble Brewing plus Ogre? Cool. You are our lovely Baron with your delightful big top hat. And you see that Lorinda is the other minion.
Okay.
And Rob G is the demon.
Excellent. Love
Awesome.
a good demon neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Absolutely. Have fun.
Bye.
There we go. Hello. What was
Hello.
that we just overheard you saying? Of course there's no Baron.
Oh yeah, we're thinking it must be.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out because you're the spy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you that Amy Rose is your fellow minion
Okay.
and Rob G is the demon.
Sweet.
Cool.
Hope there's no
And
chef.
I will send you the grimoire through the thingy so that you'll see it.
Through the thingy.
And-
Thank
yep,
you very much.
Through the
Cheers.
thingy. Very technical term.
Can
Yep.
I register as the ogre, please, and pick Aleph? Thanks.
Good to know. All right. So we will, let's see. Yeah, okay, this is, nothing on this grimoire is going to change between now and the end of the night, just mechanically, it cannot. So we are going to send Lorinda the grimoire now. Spy, show grimoire. Got those bluffs on there, got all the rolls. Yeah. There we go. So they can see that. So this is actually an interesting point because someone in chat has just said, I wonder if 10-player games ought to always have an optional +1 outsider. Little game designer fun fact, when we run new player games and they have 10 players in them, we almost always just put in a drunk because they're new players. So the player count is less important to what they're doing. The drunk is super fun and everyone loves the drunk. And you can always explain that if they ask, but basically, like, we'll just sort of put in a drunk even if there shouldn't be. And if somebody, like, asks about it, you can be like, oh, there might be a drunk. But it's good. And no one has ever, in, like, our 10 years of doing this, no one has ever been like, oh, how dare you? There was not supposed to be any outsiders because we had 10 people because they're brand new players and they, like, aren't thinking about that. So, yeah. Don't, like, do that with people, especially if you have players who are going to pay a lot of attention to the player count. Or experienced players, obviously, like, you need to make the player count correct. But for a brand new player game, if you're ever running a game for an entire group of people who are totally new and you don't have outsiders, but you also, like, don't or can't put in outsider manipulation, just put in a drunk because drunks are great. Right, let's get Rob. Hey.
Hello. Hi.
You are quite pleased to find out, hopefully, that I was like, I don't want to ascribe the feelings to you. Amy Rose and Lorinda are your minions.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Because I didn't know that before Amy started messaging me that she was the Baron. I was a bit, well, I don't know anything, and I don't know the bluffs yet, so...
Well, I will get those to you right now. Librarian, Ravenkeeper, and Recluse are all out of play.
Librarian, Ravenkeeper, Recluse.
Yep.
Okay, it might be a Librarian game. For me? Okay, cool, thank you.
Sounds good. Good luck.
Thanks, bye.
All right. So that's that done. Let's see. Now we have to give Claire a chef 1. I might just wake these guys. I don't know why Rob's raising his hand, but I think he'll probably send us a message if we need to know something from him. Right. Claire gets a 1. Daniel gets a 0. George gets to pick. Let's just wake George for that. Hey.
Hello.
Who would you like to check?
Yeah, let's have a look at, I think, Jules and Alex, please.
Jules and Alex. You get a no.
Fantastic, thank you.
Cheers. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Oh goodness, there's some good private chats going on down there with our players just being silly. Okay, let's wake up Will. That's all we got left to do. Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, cool. I'm shocked that there's an ogre in play. That's absolutely breaking news.
Indeed. Just, 10-player game. There wouldn't be an outsider. Why would there be an outsider?
No, of course not. No.
Yeah.
I assume you want to know who I'm gonna pick then.
I would love to know who you're gonna pick.
So, I've been thinking about this. I think I'm gonna go with Amy Rose, but I think that if I tell Amy Rose that I picked her, I think she'll just turn on me immediately and call me a liar. So my plan is to pick Amy Rose and then just like string her along a bit and not tell her that I picked her for probably too long for my own good. But that's my plan.
Awesome.
So yeah, Amy Rose.
You got it.
Right,
Thank you very
thanks.
much. We have an evil ogre. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. I'm just going to make a note for all of you that just says friend on it, which is what the... If there's a chance that we will have an ogre reminder ticket. Oh, I'm going to write it out so that it appears the normal direction. We'll do what Patters did and just write friend like 4 times. Great. Friend. Yep, this is amazing. So we are going to have, an evil ogre who might not know that they're evil. I think they might be able to figure it out, but I think this will be really, really fun because it'll be quite interesting to see how Amy engages with Will, with believing Will. I suppose, so, you know what? I guess that is a thing that changed, so we should we'll go tell Lorinda that, no, technically, you know what? I'm trying to remember what I put in the night order. I think the ogre does go after, so I think maybe tomorrow night Lorinda will see tomorrow night that Will is evil, but not tonight. Should we do that? I'm debating. This is one of those where like night order It matters a little bit. In the written night order, interestingly enough, the spy goes quite early in the night order, so they wouldn't see this. But in the online night order, the ogre goes closer to the end. Let's check what's on the app just to see. Yeah, okay, so even here, the spy is before the ogre. So on the first night, we're going to say in this game that the spy would not see if the ogre has flipped. And if we hear Lorinda sort of saying that wrongly, we can clarify that for them if we need to. Or if Lorinda asks, we will always clarify. So I know I literally decided where the ogre went in the night order. I should know this, and I'm checking. So this is great. This is good. Yeah, that's all we've got for tonight. So let's wake them up.
Anything else in this?
Didn't you say that yesterday, or did I dream it?
I did say
Good
that.
morning. There's I was run over by a donkey. It's not good. And now, if you could just find this donkey that is destroying the town. Yeah. This is not a game of demon hunting anymore. It's donkey hunting now.
Good.
Donkey!
No.
Feels like a cat.
Will's the ogre. I'm going to make it look like I'm talking about something else now.
Yeah.
Jules is the drunk soldier.
Okie dokie.
Daniel is the empath.
Okie dokie.
Claire's the terrifying chef.
Oh shit. Claire's
Yep.
seeing all of our messages.
Alex is the undertaker.
Okay.
And Arif is the mayor.
Ooh, spicy. Okay.
I should
so
probably
Claire
claim
knows me and
recluse,
Rob
I
are
think.
equal. You're going to become
Recluse-
a demon at some point. No. I'm the recluse. Rob's
Okay,
the
you go
librarian.
recluse.
Find something else off bluff if you want. But you can fall back into Raven Keeper.
I'll go Raven Keeper. Raven Keeper's the other
Rob's going to star pass at some point, so you better behave because we're
Okay.
confirming each other and there's a chef one. So
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great.
excellent.
Okay,
See you
cheers.
later. Bye.
Just remembered that I learned how to do predictions, so I will set one of those up imminently.
Oh, cakes raising. We're
What,
talking about serious things, Jams, aren't we? We are talking about
Yeah.
very serious things, Daniel.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you?
So, would you like the ocean version or the land version of my truth?
I'll have the land version.
You have the land version. Well, it doesn't matter because I've got a pair of wings, so it doesn't matter if I'm wet or dry. I can fly.
Right. I'm putting you down as the Raven Keeper then.
My birds would fly in that instance, but I can fly.
Okay. Fine. I'll put you down as the same for now.
Yeah! Thank you. I mean,
Don't nominate me. I am the Virgin.
you're the Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm the Raven Keeper or the Saint, I will do nil pois.
Mhm.
I shall leave your virginity intact because
you.
I.
That's fine. I know you're not the Baron.
If you're evil, I'm screwed. But Jams is just gonna keep letting that mayor bounce happen every night, so it's all good.
Okay. Well, if I picked you, then I'm going for a mayor win. If I didn't pick you, then I don't know whether I want to go for it or not.
What can I do to make you trust me? What can I do to make you trust me?
Well,
That's
I
not the
don't
lyrics,
know.
but
I
you
don't
know.
know. I don't know what team I'm on, Arif. So it's
Will-
not about whether I trust you. It's whether about I trust myself, isn't it? You know.
Why did I hard claim to the ogre? Right, I'm going. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Amazing. Also, genuinely, I was just thirsty. That wasn't a tactical drink.
Am I in your
Uh,
pink? Is that why you're being cagey with me?
Potentially.
Amy.
I'm actually not the investigator.
Oh, shock! Shock! Lie. That's always
When I actually needed to come up with information, I was like, nah, I probably shouldn't get into a lie that's
No,
not true, because then
no.
we're going to kill good players and that would just be bad. I'm the recluse.
Okay, fair enough.
I looked at the script and I decided to pick something, and then I was like, if I pick something, probably you're just not going to believe me. So I picked something thingy, and then you asked for information, and I was like, this is not bad, not good. Yes. I'm the
Okay,
recluse.
all right. Is that true?
Yes, that is my truth.
Or is that going to get me looking at other people that are good players?
What do you mean?
with my chef one.
Oh, I see. Yes, I am the recluse, so you need to look at my neighbours.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Bye.
Bye. Don't trust her.
Why would you?
Okay, well, I'll think about it then.
You can think about it. I'm sure there's someone better, but you know, I'll leave it there for you. You can make the decision.
What have we missed?
Oh, just Will told me he's the ogre, and I said I'm the monk looking for folks to protect and haven't found any yet. And then Will's trying to convince me that he's a good protection because the evil team.
If I'm evil, I want the monk to
If he's
pick me, and
evil.
if I'm good, I also want the monk to pick me. So I'm just asking for the monk to pick me.
That's a foolproof point.
See what happens. Yeah.
Flawless
Yeah,
logic.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Makes me believe him
Alright, cool.
really hard too. So
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
All right, see ya.
I'm with you.
Excellent.
So, yeah, you can look forward to that. Yeah, Kat, I've just explained. Daniel says he's either a top four or a virgin. I've heard of 2 other top fours, so I'm gonna deploy a very secret and subtle code in the town square to encourage the nomination of a virgin. I guess I should say where I am. I am a fortune teller. Yeah.
I'll put that for now.
Yeah, just leave it there for now. That's probably fine. You shouldn't execute Jules or Alex.
Jules or Alex.
Yeah.
Cool. I will go with that.
Okay. Good luck, Daniel.
Brill. Thank you.
Let's do some nominating. It's about that time.
Murder on the dance floor.
Murder on the Clocktower.
Ayo.
Yep, we it's too early to do comedy. Welcome back. My sense of humor was also run over by a donkey, and now is your time to talk to each other and then eventually try and murder each other.
To whom it may concern, Pingu, Daniel.
Thank you.
Rob G nominates Daniel.
Okay.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Daniel?
I can guarantee my disappointment is even more immeasurable.
All right, it takes 5 votes, but let's be real. I don't think we can even count how immeasurable
Daniel,
this disappointment
are you the
is. It takes 5 to put Daniel up for execution, starting now.
Are you the virgin, Daniel?
Why are we picking on our butler in town?
Because of Pingu.
Pingu.
We need to keep Alfred alive.
3 is not enough.
Can I share a really bad joke?
You normally do.
You don't
It's
really
a
have to-
call for nominations.
Burn.
In
Burn.
So quick.
Alex,
Um,
Alex,
oh,
really
okay.
good.
Okay, Alex nominates Amy Rose.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, as I was saying before people started to interrupt me, I've got a really good joke. Now, Amy Rose, what would you call a 3-legged donkey?
No-eyed donkey. No idea.
Well, you would call Amy Rose wonky, because it's a wonky donkey. I don't want to kill Amy Rose. Thanks very much for listening. I'm here all week.
Amy.
Excellent. Thank you for the joke, Alex.
Great. Takes 5 once again.
I'm kind of disappointed, Alex, because I really thought ass was gonna play into that somehow, and then you let me down.
Well, don't worry. When we get a bit later in the night, I'll be a bit ruder, and then I'll come up with a better joke about us.
Great. 2 votes is
Thank
not
you.
enough.
I will nominate Rob.
Okay.
Rob seemingly wanted to proc a virgin. Probably isn't too powerful. Wouldn't mind dying? Question mark.
Rob?
I guess that's fine. But now I can't be confirmed by a virgin. I'm less enthusiastic about the whole thing.
Well,
All right.
Rob, don't worry. There's an Undertaker.
Takes 5. Starting now.
There may be other virgins out there.
Well, I can't
Like
pick them today.
All right. right.
you should have put
4 is not
yourself
enough.
on the block.
Closing the
Sus.
day in 10 seconds.
Wait, someone should die. Anyone want to die?
I'll nominate Arif.
Okay.
I don't know. I think a willingness to trigger evocation is probably a sign of somebody being good on the whole. And I am not as excited about the idea of nominating that person. So here's Arif.
Here's Arif.
A willingness to nominate a virgin, yes, but with that nomination, when that virgin doesn't proc, it screams minion to me. So I don't trust Rob.
Well, takes 5 votes to figure out whether or not people trust you. Starting now.
And now I don't trust you, George. I'm on to you.
Yeah. That's interessante.
Oh, how the distrust spreads.
Oh wait, oh damn it, I missed
2's
it.
not enough.
Can I
Closing
nominate
the
George,
day.
actually, please?
Need a difference.
Yeah, sure.
There is a potential soft evil ping on George, to be honest. I wasn't necessarily going to go for it this early, but yeah, it might be interesting to kill this and see what the Undertaker gets if there is one.
George?
Wow, it's potential and soft. Truly, this is damning information. I've hard claims to everyone I've spoken to today, so if I've spoken to the Undertaker, this is pointless. I'm also very, very useful, so you shouldn't kill me.
Alright. Takes 5. Starting now.
Arif, have you spoken to George today?
I haven't, no. So I don't
that's
have
fine then.
George's claim.
So when you
I'm
when
the
you
fortune
under-
teller.
when you
Oh,
under-
well-
okay.
Right, well.
I say when Arif
That,
undertook
that
to-
Undertaker's definitely heard it now.
Alright, well, 6 votes is enough, and I don't think that's gonna be beaten, but
Alright, let's fix this, pals.
3 more seconds.
I'll nominate Will.
Alright.
No, we don't want to kill the fortune teller, do we? Definitely the fortune teller. Let's kill Will.
This feels
Well.
panicky.
Yeah, this gives me convenient time. I've told everyone the truth. I can just tell everyone in one go, I'm the Ogre. I'm not telling anyone who I picked, including the person I picked. They don't know I might be in your team, so you probably shouldn't vote for me, whether you're good or evil.
Well,
Fair enough.
we didn't pick George.
Dilemma!
6 to die and 7 votes to die.
I might
starting
tie it, Amy, if
now.
I did pick George, maybe.
You did big George. This feels fine, weirdly. Weirdly feels fine. No? Does it
4
not
is
feel
not
I
enough.
tried, George. I tried.
Closing the day in 3,
I mean, we got, how many did we get? 6?
6.
1.
6 out of 10.
George is executed
George is probably good.
and
Yeah.
dies. And you all go to sleep. That's quite a good kill for the evil team there. Very interesting. Extremely close to Rob being executed. That went all different directions. But yeah, I think we'll see what happens. What's kind of nice is like if they take out Alex, then Daniel's still clearing Claire and Jules. Lorinda is going to learn that Will is evil tonight, which I think will be quite strong, unless Rob star passes. I don't actually know. I overheard the evil team saying that they wanted Rob to star pass and wanted that star pass to go to Lorinda at some point. But what I think is really interesting is that if Rob star passes specifically tonight, then that star pass is going to go to the spy, meaning the spy won't see the Grim and therefore won't be able to go up to Will and go, hey, I saw that you're evil. So I'd be very curious to see what actually happens. And what's nice is that we get to find that out right now.
But don't you want to learn if you're evil?
Hey.
Hello. Oh god. I've been talking to Amy, and I need to star pass soon, but I think I can possibly skate another day on socials of being willing to nominate a virgin. It's gonna be tough, but I think the Undertaker cannot confirm George, because George needs to be a potential evil for Worlds. So Alex, please.
Okay, you got it.
It's gonna be tough. Let's go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I think that is a great kill. And it actually weirdly is a great kill for both teams a little bit. I mean, Alex was one of the yes pings, which is quite tough. Or sorry, no pings. The fortune teller got a no. George picked Alex and Jules. But Jules is going to look very good because they've both got a fortune teller no and an empath 0 on them. Daniel's going to get another 0, which is quite helpful. And Evil will learn who that ogre is. The other thing for this game is with the fortune teller out, that actually helps Arif as the mayor because there's no way for them to get a fortune teller yes on Arif. And so, yeah, I don't think this is too bad. I tend to use the mayor bounces very liberally. The mayor's ability that if they die at night, then another player might die instead. Often, depending on the balance of the game, I might be more inclined to just like keep bouncing off that mayor to make the game, you know, because that is a townsfolk ability, that someone else should die instead. I'm usually unlikely to kill an evil player with that redirection, but I think it goes both ways. So I'll be very interested to see what happens. I think what we'll do, so the only other thing we need to do tonight, because they have killed their 2 ongoing information roles, is show Lorinda what the deal is. Yep, so that friend note that we made does not show up, so Lorinda is not going to know who Will picked. Lorinda is just going to know that Will is an evil ogre. So I think what Lorinda could do is go to Will and say, you know, hey, I saw the Grim, I'm the spy, I know you're the evil ogre, like, you can tell me who you picked because I know that you're evil, if they want to. They could also just like let Will marinate. I think there's lots of fun ways to engage with this. There's no one right way to engage with it. So yeah, we'll shoot this over Lorinda's direction and let them know what the deal is. And we won't give them too much time with it, just because I do think Evil's in a strong position right now. And we'll wake them up as soon as we see. I just want to know that they've had a chance to actually look at it before like ripping them out of the night. The equivalent to this, if you're running a game in person, is you have the grimoire, you're standing in front of the spy. There we go. They sort of nod at you like they're like, yeah, I've seen enough. Okay, they've seen enough, which means we can wake them up.
By
Yeah.
good players telling me they're the spy and that I'm evil.
Good morning. To everyone except Alex, who was run over by a donkey in the night.
It's cursed.
A wonky donkey.
A wonky donkey, yes.
Oh,
He
no.
saw 3 legs galloping towards him, and he was like, "A wonky donkey." His last words.
It was the fourth. It was the fourth
That'll
leg. It got
brew
me.
donkey. That'll brew donkey. I understand that.
Killed by the 4th leg.
I understand.
You seem to know what I was.
I know you're not the Undertaker.
No, I'm not. I'm the mayor, but I'm bluffing Undertaker.
You
This worked
can
so
do,
well
'cause-
for us last time.
Yeah, well, no, you can do because I was the Undertaker, and only one person knew this.
Ooh.
The Virgin. That is no Virgin.
Oh, Daniel. I do
So
not trust Daniel.
I'd watch out just in case it's a blind shot in the dark. But if you want to grab Undertaker,
Okay.
I'm just gonna say I was the butler.
All right. Well, Butler's not on the script, Alex. I don't.
I'm
I don't know
fully
how we're
aware
gonna do
of-
that.
I'm fully. Who's gonna care? I'm dead.
That's true. That's fair.
I
All
am
right.
the perfect. I am the perfect assassin or spy here. I'm not evil, but
That's true.
I'm gonna
That's
go
fair.
under the radar. I'm a submarining butler.
Love,
yeah,
a
go-
good,
go- you-
love a good submarining butler.
Yeah,
Are there any
Right.
pop culture butlers on boats? Think of any.
yeah. Why not?
Anyway,
Why not?
Only in
we're
Clocktower
digressing
is
too
that
much,
a
Alex.
reasonable question
There'll
to
be-
ask.
There'll be cloches that need serving, so I'm gonna be
Exactly.
an undersea. I'm gonna be an undersea butler.
Fine. I'm gonna try and
Un-
convince George that I'm good now as well. Let's
Yes.
see how that goes.
I wouldn't say he's the fortune teller because I think he's telling porkies.
I agree. I just have to figure out what he could be now. I might just like throw a top 4 at him or something, or say Slayer or something.
Yeah, maybe go Slayer or Slayer or Soldier? Because that'd be
Yeah.
funny.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
I'll
Enjoy
do it that
being-
way as well.
The empath that's got a 0 on 2 nights, so I'm probably the drunk.
No, you're probably true and clearing me.
Okay. I'm still sticking to
Okay.
virgin to everybody else other than you and Jules.
Fair enough. I'm the chef, it's a 1.
Chef for the one. Cool.
Which is the soft reason we went for George, given the neighbour Amy.
Alex had claimed Undertaker to me yesterday, so could be
Ooh.
spy.
Not likely if he died at night.
No, I'm saying it could be a spy game, sorry.
Oh, it could be a spy
Might
game.
not
So.
be. Might be a lucky snipe. Alex might just be
Well,
like.
he said he could be the spy.
No.
Yeah, no, he can't hard claim Saint to me, so I didn't even mark it down, to be honest.
You only had claim saying, so I said I was the virgin, don't nominate me. And he said, oh, well, actually, I'm really the Undertaker, but I'll tell everybody else I'm the Saint.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Cool. Chef with a 1. Bro.
Chef on. That's fine.
I don't know if you are, and I'll roll with it because why not? But I'm gonna go. It'd be weird if I suddenly came out and said who I picked because.
Well, I'll give you
I'm not
4
saying,
people.
so
Which isn't a
I
very...
will eventually. Well, I will eventually say who I picked, but I probably wouldn't do it today. So I'll go along with your plan for now.
Just for your benefit, and again, this is still 50-50, so it doesn't help you a lot. But I'll tell you that you picked one of Claire, me, Amy, or Rob. One of those is good.
Oh
so
yeah,
you
there's a
can have
recluse. Yeah, I just heard a recluse. Okay, all right. Well, I believe you a little bit more now because I did pick one of those 4. So.
Okay. Awesome. But yeah, if you want to cast shade on Daniel at some point, that'd be really helpful.
Who's? So you know I'm evil, so you can tell me who the demon is.
Yeah, the demon doesn't want to be known just yet, but yes.
Okay, sure.
I'll probably tell you tomorrow because I don't expect you to 100% believe me, and you might out it for reasons best known to yourself if good convince you, but you are evil.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I have
Cheers.
no reason not to believe you at the moment. All right.
Yeah, I'll think of a reason for myself, but I think it's fine to tell you soon. Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah, this is really interesting, and I see those notes about Will's sound being quiet. I actually don't know. Is there a way that I can change it? I don't know. I don't think so. But I can let him know in the night and see if there's something he can do to make it a bit louder. But what's really interesting here is that because Amy is specifically claiming Recluse, and there's a jinx with the Recluse and the Ogre, that if the Recluse registers as evil to the Ogre, then the Ogre will learn that they're evil. So Will can conclude that either Amy is not the Recluse, or Amy is the Recluse and Will's just good and doesn't necessarily trust Lorinda. So I think it's kind of a unique pick where he's actually going to get more information from it because of that jinx. Okay, people are teaching me. This is great. I don't think I've previously turned Will down via the little Wi-Fi. Oh, on this thing. Okay, cool. We got this. So we can click on Will with technical difficulties in real time. Yeah, he's all the way up already. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's see. It's about time. We'll listen into like one more conversation.
Will somewhere. I don't know yet whether we can trust Will's ogre claim or whether it's just a bluff. And we're all going to assume there's an ogre and we can leave them alone.
There's an ogre, and then there's actually a drunk or something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would have to be like a super coordinated evil team, because there's the whole like the librarian recluse chain, confirmation chain.
Oh, I've not heard that yet.
Okay, yeah. So either they're evil together, but I don't think so. I think that is just real.
Well,
Or a
if that's
spy,
the
I
case,
guess.
that would make me sober. And therefore
Yes.
a good
Yeah.
monk protection.
Okay. Cool.
Brill.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, because I know it'll be a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're evil, Will. Unless you're evil.
Should I?
Gotta stop trusting these ogres.
All right.
Oh, good.
Pass it on to Arif.
Welcome back. There's a donkey on the loose. Now's probably a good time to do something about
Watch
it.
out for Wonky.
Wonky, is
Oh.
that the name? Wonky the donkey?
What? Wonky the donkey's got 3 legs, but their bigger brother is called Plonky the donkey, and they've got some right beautiful
They got-
pins
Wow.
below
They
their
got
tail.
5
I
legs.
thought they
Any
got 5
chance,
legs.
Alex?
No, they're just well endowed. That's why they got 5 legs.
Oh,
The
good
lore
lord.
on this.
Nominate Alex. No, I'm kidding. No.
Someone in chat says Chunky the donkey. Just
I
really,
like that.
really big. Next
Chonky
Leviathan
donkey.
game I'm
Right.
running. Good morning. This is day 1 of Chunky the donkey being in town. He can't actually run. He just sits there and terrifies you all for 5 days.
Well, surely Chonky would be the cannibal of the town.
Oh yeah, I don't mind that. Somehow both. Anyways, anything you
Why
want to
do I
say
do
about
this every
these
week?
characters?
You've had 3 weeks off.
Rob. Oh, yeah. Rob G nominates Claire.
Sure.
I think we hadn't spoken, but you know, I live in hope. But
I mean, we can speak tomorrow. That's fine. I'm good to die. First night roll, so.
I think that's good.
All right. It takes 4 votes. Starting now.
I think I'm most interested in actually voting for Daniel today.
Yeah, I'm quite keen on Daniel as well.
1 is enough.
Arif will nominate Daniel.
Lucky.
Virgin that did not proc. The prosecution rests.
Daniel.
Unfortunately, not a virgin.
All right. It takes 4 votes once again. Starting now. Four is enough. Daniel's on the block.
Interestingly, those people didn't vote on it.
I will nominate Will, please.
Okay.
I'm the empath, so I get ongoing information. Will is an outsider, so doesn't.
Will?
I might be in your team, Daniel. Why have you done this to me?
Well, it takes 4 votes to tie and 5 votes to die. Starting now.
Is this gonna tie?
Can we not
Is
tie
this
this?
Yeah,
Rob?
Rob, please, no, Rob.
What?
well, no, it'll be
Will
on Will
tie
to.
it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3's not enough.
Why did you? But you gave the opportunity to do so.
If we,
It's day 2. It's fascinating information if all ties that.
Yeah, that's true.
It is day 2, and Daniel's on the block with 4 votes. 8 more
My
seconds.
husband's just died.
but if you're evil, and I suspect Will might be and might not be the ogre, then that's just fun to do on day 2.
Sure. Well, that's information as well. That's...
Why are we talking about something that I didn't do?
I don't think you've apologised enough for this thing you haven't done.
If Will was a
Yeah,
donkey
Will.
running through town, on that note, Daniel is literally run over by a donkey, and dies. And that was a short game, is a thing I would say if it was over. Good night.
Yeah, nice
Very
try.
good. Very good.
Or rather, yeah.
Real bad. All right, so I believe Will has been told that he is evil by Lorinda. And Lorinda said that the demon didn't want Will to know who he was just yet, but they did want to, they told Will, you picked one of these 4 people, and they listed Claire and the 3 actual evil players. And because Will has picked Amy Rose, Will said to Lorinda, like, I'm more likely to believe that this is real and that you're telling me I'm evil and I really am evil, but doesn't totally know why. Oh, interesting. I actually don't know what the auto mod settings are on this channel, so apologies for messages that have gotten deleted. Yeah, let's see. I think killing the empath, again, super strong, but I think Daniel, because I know Daniel spent yesterday specifically talking to both of his neighbors to try and get a read on whether or not he's the drunk. What's kind of cool is that if they don't believe that Will is really the ogre and think Will is just straight up evil, then that might work in favor of the evil team, because I think they might start to build a non-Baron world, which weirdly will kind of help the good team, I think, in this situation. But it's hard to say. I do think that evil's in a strong position. I think they played well, but I also think it'll be interesting to see what Rob does, because with that Chef won, and I think Claire has quite a bit of social trust based on the way that voting went yesterday. Like, no one really was keen to follow a nomination on Claire. People seem to just think she's good. So I think it'll be quite interesting to see what happens tonight and where people go tomorrow, especially if Rob Star passes. So let's see. And yes, I think I will wait to see. We can talk about who to do a mayor bounce to if and when Aerith gets targeted for the first time. But let's see who is going to die tonight. Hey.
Hello. This is tough. It's still tough because of that Chef one. And I think the only person I think worth killing is Aerith or myself. And so I'm going to pick Aerith and, politely request that you kill anyone except for Jules, including myself. I don't mind it bouncing onto myself.
Okay, so you're selecting Aerith.
I'm selecting Aerith. I've been informed he's the mayor, so I don't mind anyone dies except for Jules. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Noted. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cool. Oh, that's quite interesting. So this is the sort of request that I am very inclined to respect. If it were the single best decision by a long shot for the state of the game to kill Jules, I probably would kill Jules and, basically acknowledge that, look, you tried to kill the mayor, it can bounce, and, that can happen, which would be really rough and, probably not feel great for Rob. But in this particular situation, George is a fortune teller who almost definitely should be sober in most of the worlds that they're building, and I think has social trust because of the 6 votes on the first day. And Jules is George's alive fortune teller, no. So that information, I think, is massive. Not to mention there is that empath 0 on Jules. So I think mechanically it will be more difficult for the evil team to frame Jules as evil. So I'm quite happy to have Jules alive. Weirdly, I might bounce this to Amy Rose. Because, I don't think Aerith should die here. I think it's more interesting to leave Will alive and see, because that gives evil. When I'm storytelling, let's start here. I'm thinking about not just what is going to be most balanced for the game, but I'm also thinking about when I make a decision, how is that going to impact who talks to who during the day? What conversations am I as the storyteller trying to foster with the decisions that I'm making? This is a weird next level piece of storytelling that I've only sort of recently started really consciously thinking about when I'm making decisions. And I think it's really important to make sure that you have a good grasp on the balance of the game and the decisions that you're making before you start to also add in this piece of, okay, now can I also think about who's going to talk to who? But one thing that I think is really interesting is that if we bounce this to Amy, we know that the evil team has said, let's kill, I think if Rob kills himself in the night, they want it to go to Lorinda. I think that's still true. I think that's probably accurate based on the setup of this game. And if people are starting to think that it's a spy game, then a confirmed outsider player is a good kill in a spy game. I could also bounce it to Rob, but I think I'm very much leaning here between Rob and Amy Rose, because I think they will probably kill Will during the day tomorrow. And killing one of Rob or Amy Rose in the night gives us some... It pushes Will to actually talk to the rest of the evil players, because the evil players now need more of an incentive to have Will vote with them. And there are 4 evil players alive right now, and Rob has chosen specifically to target the mayor, knowing that that is going to bounce somewhere else. So I love talking about this stuff. This is like where I live. So you actually can. So somebody has just asked, can you star pass from a mayor bounce since they didn't target themselves? Yes, if the mayor is targeted in the night and someone else dies instead, the person who dies instead has still died due to the demon's ability. So anything that is part of the demon's ability would actually trigger. For example, I'm pretty sure, and maybe I shouldn't use this as an example because I'm not 100% sure that it's true, but I think, and like would probably rule it this way for fun until I realize that it's wrong and have, but whatever. I think like if you had a Vigor Mortis who targeted a mayor, that kill could bounce to a minion or a recluse, and then like that dead minion or recluse could start poisoning one of their neighbors. But yeah, in this particular situation, because this is mostly just, it's trouble brewing and there's an ogre, if the mayor is targeted by the demon, you can bounce that kill back to the demon, which would cause the demon to star pass and have a minion become the new demon. And Rob has told us that he's comfortable with that being an option. But in this situation, weirdly, I actually think it will be better to... Oh, that's true, yeah, because if we kill Amy... Well, so Rob is claiming to be the librarian confirming Amy, which is the only reason why I don't think that I don't think that will get Rob killed during the day. Because it is a tough choice, which is why I'm happy to take the time to talk through it. This is one of the things I love about streaming storyteller perspective, is that not all storytelling choices are easy to make, and I often just make them like this because I'm like, that's probably the best thing, or it's good enough and like it'll work. But I think it's really fun and interesting to talk through all of this, and there is an audience for that here, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. So I do think I'm landing on Amy, mostly because I think it will force conversation between Will and the other evil players, which is both good for the evil team and good for the good team because they can start to look for that. I think it will make the chef one seem more interesting and could potentially push Claire to consider worlds where she is the drunk. And I think if people are going to kill into Aerith and Rob tomorrow, they're probably more likely to kill Aerith, because Amy, who has just died in the night, will be able to come out and say, like, Rob is confirming me and I trust him. Like, at worst, he's the spy and we still shouldn't kill him. And then if Rob dies the next night, because I do think he's still planning on killing himself and transferring it to Lorinda, that could also help, because then it'll be like, oh, Rob and Amy are just good. And then from the dead, they'll have the power to steer that narrative of like, hey, we're 2 dead good players, we both died in the night, like, let's do this. So this is a tough one. I'm still also sitting here, as much as I've talked through this and going like, yeah, I think Amy is our best choice, I'm not confident that this is the right choice. I could also like very much see this go totally wrong, and if it does, then I will apologize to the evil team and they can go back and watch all of my reasoning and explanation, and that's also okay. But yeah, I think for the sake of what's happening in the game, I think if we kill Amy, then the most likely executions tomorrow are probably Will, Rob, and Aerith. And that's 3 players of the 6 alive, so I think that's probably okay. Because the other thing is, I think if Rob dies, they might start to look... if Rob dies, they won't look towards Lorinda. I think Will's gonna die tomorrow regardless, so I think we're okay. They're at 6 alive, and they will have 3 evil votes. So I think they have 4 evil votes total. 1 will be dead. They'll have 3 living evil votes. So I do actually think this is okay from a balance perspective, because the voting, like, good really needs to vote together, and their voting is going to be a little bit stuffed. So, like, yeah, balance. Tricky. I've talked so much. Let's kill Amy and then wake everyone up, because all of our night rolls... Oh, no, we need to give Florinda the Grim. I will do that, and then I will grab Will and let Will know that if there's anything he can do for his volume, just for you all in chat. So we'll do that, and then we'll just wake Will very quickly. Heya.
Hello.
Nothing mechanical, but some of the folks in chat mentioned that your volume is a little quiet. I don't know if there's anything you can do on your end to make it louder. If not, that's okay, and you can just like, speak up a little bit.
You can just turn the gain up a little bit.
Maybe.
How quiet am I? Is that better?
That sounds a little bit better. I don't know on the chat and how their volume.
I can bring the
compares
mic
to,
a
like,
little closer.
Oh, that's way better. Yeah,
better.
Million times better. Awesome. Cool.
Right,
What are you thinking while you're here? Just because it's fun to ask. What are you thinking about the game right now?
Well, Lorinda has come to me, and I'm pretty sure I'm evil. Like, Lorinda told me, oh, you must have picked one of these 4 people, and I did. And they're all still alive. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm evil. And I'm going to try and work out who I need to, like, frame as my friend, because I think most people are going to think that I'm evil eventually. So that's my plan. And if I'm good, then yeah. I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure I'm evil.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And chat says your volume's much better. So all good.
Great, good stuff.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cheers. Awesome. Yeah, I love that we have that sort of space in the game to actually like talk to people in the night and find out, especially with these roles like the Ogre, where it's like, hey, you don't know your alignment, like tell us what you're thinking, because it's interesting. So yeah, that's our whole night done. Let's wake them up and let Amy Rose know that she has been run over by a chunky donkey.
I feel like it's so much.
George is in that game.
Good morning.
The magician and the demon in a ref pack.
Get hacked into lunatic.
Tragically, in the night, a chonky donkey fell upon the head of Amy Rose.
No!
Oh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I pass.
There was no sus on Amy.
Wow, a lot of people pinging.
No, there was a lot of sus on Amy, I think.
Was there?
Is there any reason for me not to
God for
out
that.
everything to him?
No, but can I do it because it's fun? In fact, let's just get Will in here.
You're just going to talk to Will. I've told him he's evil already, but I didn't tell him who. I'll leave. Go for it.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Will. You're evil. Just to let you know. Lorinda's a spy. Do you want the rest of the Grim?
Well, I knew that. I don't know who is the other minion, Rob or Claire?
Rob is the
one of them's the recluse, and I don't know which.
Starting imp.
Oh.
Rob is the starting imp.
Oh, okay. So Claire's the recluse, and you're.
No, Claire is the chef. I'll start from the top.
Wait, what?
Okay. Arif is the mayor. Rob is the starting imp. I am the baron. George is the fortune teller. You're the ogre. Jules is the drunk soldier. Daniel is the empath. Claire is the chef with a 1. Lorinda is the spy. Alex is the dead undertaker.
Oh, Lorinda. Okay, Lorinda told me that there was 4
Who did
people
you
I could have
pick?
picked, so
Who
I thought
did
there
you
was a
pick?
recluse somewhere. I picked you.
Oh yeah, I
need to
wondered if you would.
Well, it was either you or Lorinda, so I guess.
Yeah, well, you were on the team. Excellent.
Who do you think I should say I picked? Because Lorinda was like, oh, say you picked one of these 4 people, but I kind of forgot who he said.
Oh, Alex, because Alex is fun, so it's a legitimate pick.
I feel like I would have gone to Alex already and said that.
No, because you said that you're not telling anybody.
Yeah, but I will eventually.
Everyone's
going
to see us chatting now anyway and know that you're evil, so... Fine, George, you can pick George. Pick anybody, it's your prerogative.
Okay, I'll pick anybody, alright. No, because...
A little longer. Because if they think you're trusted and killable, like, they'll probably go for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more fun to lie, so...
Exactly, yeah. It hurt my soul not to do this game. But yeah, I don't really... I'm not 100% sold on Baron.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is then the evil team is basically Rob, Amy, and Will.
Yeah.
Unless one of them was lying to hide, like, a powerful good role, but we're kind of out of those. So
I mean, Rob can be a drunk potentially in those worlds. I do think it's more likely that if that's the world, it's all 3
Rob
of them.
could be a drunk, and then one of them could be. I mean, I was also like, Rob could be the spy, and then there really could be a, then Amy could be telling the truth.
Yeah, there's definitely worlds where only one of the outsiders is true, and the other is a drunk somewhere, and Rob is a spy.
Yeah.
Although I think Yes, I think Amy dying. I don't think Amy had a. If it is that team of three, including both outsiders, I don't think they needed to kill Amy Rose there.
Right. Yeah, I am confused by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I would go today.
Um,
I'm down to do either. I don't really mind.
I don't mind either way, actually.
Okay.
Or
I'll say
Amy as
I'll
well.
do this. Yeah, I'll do the same. I'll do what I said to Amy and just wing it. But
You should probably try and look good to some degree.
Yeah.
And I should probably not talk to you because you probably look evil if you're talking to alive players a lot, actually.
Well, maybe. Okay. Well, we don't need to talk anymore, so we can go. What are you claiming, by the way, Raven?
What's funny is that I can totally see. I could totally see you being the drunk and Will being evil.
I could see me being the drunken recluse being a bluff and you being evil, but that would then actually be a chef one. So why would I anyway?
Yeah.
Putting myself in knots.
Basically, I think it's like you give a drunk a chef one if the librarian confirming the recluse that they're sat next to each other. But also, I think there's a possibility I could be the drunk, and Amy Rose is evil, and Amy Rose is evil, and then Will is good. Or if I'm just poisoned, Amy Rose could be evil with Will.
I'm reading Will as good. I think we were kind of maybe it's a bit meta. Maybe we were expecting an ogre in this game. Maybe that's a reason.
Yeah, I was like fully on because from my point of view, I thought there's definitely going to be a Baron, and then I saw, I saw an outsider, so that I was on the train of trusting the ogre and the recluse. But now with this, the thing is, I'm not sure about Daniel, because I can't, with Daniel's information, I can't fit an evil team round the circle.
So that was my other place for a chef one, is Daniel and Jules specifically.
Yes.
But Daniel is reading super good, which he does when he's either specifically Imp or Scarlet Woman.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome back to Donkeyland.
Eat-aw.
Eat-aw. That's the
see
noise
how it
that
is, Alex.
signifies to talk to each other.
Can I just say that I had the sister of Wonky Donkey come and speak to me, and she was Freezy Wheezy Donkey, and unfortunately my computer got froze for about 2 minutes. So if anyone thought I was being rude and ignoring them, I was just having a donkey situation where they sat on my keyboard and I couldn't do anything. Sorry, Lorinda, we can talk tomorrow.
I'm incredibly offended, and I don't buy your excuse.
Well, the good news is, Freezy Wheezy Donkey is now in the oven. So if you're hungry, we can have some lovely donkey steak tomorrow.
Nope, don't want that.
What's wrong with donkey steak?
Have you seen the donkeys at Skegness? Oh, hang on, we're back to my town again. It always works.
Look, it's fine. I mean, donkeys can have webbed hoofs. It's fine.
Wow.
I'd rather have some sushi from the sushi shop.
Do you know what? If I'm cutting up my donkey and serving you sushi, work out which part of the donkey that is.
On that note, nominations are open.
Can Amy nominate Jules, please?
Yeah.
No,
you're dead. You can't.
God.
I lied.
Well, I think I will nominate Jules, please.
Okay.
For those that haven't heard it yet, I'm the chef with the 1. Struggling to place the 1 around the board. It could be Daniel and Jules. The fact that Jules is still alive is making me slightly more sus. They were voting together early game. I can also place it with Rob and Amy Rose specifically, so it doesn't have to be that we go for Jules, but I think this could be a good shout.
Jules?
Yeah, I think I'm a good frame, so it might make sense to kill me now to clear that world. I mean, if you believe Daniel's info, then I have a good ping on me. I've heard of another ping clearing me of being the demon, so worst, I'm a minion in this situation. I think there's better demon candidates out there, but if we want to clean out this world, then that's fine.
Alrighty. Takes 3.
I do see Lorinda and Rob voting, who are both in my kind of potential evil world, but...
Starting now.
You could be Scarlet Woman in that world with Daniel, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're not. Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
Liam.
No, it's like I say, the
Three's enough.
struggling to place my info.
Yeah.
The alternative is I'm the drunk and one of the face-up outsiders is lying,
I
potentially.
think you can put like chef. I've actually had the opposite problem. I can build like chef ones almost everywhere. A lot of them include Rob as the spy, which I don't really love, but I think you can do it with a lot of configurations of people.
Rob and Amy are mechanically linked as well, which makes them...
Not necessarily if Rob is the spy.
Right.
But yeah, there's info backing Amy up.
Yeah.
From...
Also, Rob could be a drunk.
Yeah.
And has seen me as the Star Past Imp. Yes, that is also Rob. I would say yes if someone came to me to said I'm a librarian.
I think Jules is good, to be honest.
I mean, it's a world we have to clear. Daniel,
is it?
Yeah.
Jules?
I don't think it is.
Jules, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, do you have a better nom, Arif? Because
Arif. It would be Arif.
Arif, right? I mean, for me, it's kind of Arif or Lorinda, I guess. But
well, this is the last call for nominations.
I think
okay. I'm gonna nominate Arif.
Why have you done this?
I think Arif could make sense as a chef. I don't know. Honestly, I was leaning toward Lorinda, and then other folks said Arif, but I know I'm not evil, so I kind of trust Daniel, and I kind of trust Claire's one in that world. And so I'm just kind of looking for where else it could be, where it's not me. Yeah.
Arif?
That's completely fair. I also lied to you, Jules. I'm very sorry on the first day, but with good reason.
Oh, I know.
Okay, fair enough. Damn it. I think most people know what I am now, but I'm not gonna vocalize it yet. I don't think it's beneficial. I'm actually leaning more towards Rob being killed today. I think, Jules, that you're good. You're reading very socially good. If I'm wrong, fair play. Well done. You got me. But I'm also not a great kill at this moment in time.
All right.
But I will be nominating after this.
3 to die, 4 to die. Starting now.
I would like to vote on this because I think that Arif is a world.
I'll vote for you, Amy. There you go.
Excellent.
Thanks,
2 is
Arif.
not enough. Final call for nominations.
Arif will nominate Rob.
Okay.
I think the chef one makes sense with Rob being sat next to a recluse. That's the other place that we can put it if Jules is not evil, and I don't think Jules is evil. I also don't think we've killed an evil player, so that scares me a little bit in terms of who's left alive. I also think Will might be evil. But this isn't about Will. It's about you, Rob.
Rob?
Yeah, this is fine if people want to lift Jules, but yeah.
All right.
That's all I need.
3 to die, 4
I will
to
let
die.
it die.
Starting now.
In my world, Rob is only ever the spy.
Yeah, because the confirmation on Amy Rose, like Rob is only the demon
very
now
early
if,
as well.
if he's taken it from Amy Rose as a star pass. That's the world
Yeah.
he built there.
One is not
It
enough.
could also be drunk that's seen a bluff, right? Between two evils with Arif
So
So
and
Rob's
Amy.
basically the spy or the drug. Arif is the name candidate if this doesn't end the game with Jules.
Not
Could
doing
kill
that.
Will.
I think everyone is a living demon candidate, to be honest with you. I think.
Well, I mean, we're not. Claire is red socially good.
One. Jules is executed and dies. A stampede of donkeys is running wild in the town.
Oh no.
And they find Jules and run them over. And the game continues.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, I think that is probably it's not the best kill, it's not the worst kill. They're not going to find that drunk, which is helpful for evil. But I am quite pleased that I made the right estimation about how town would perceive Rob's relationship to Amy in the context of the game, and that confirmation, that librarian confirmation that they're claiming, would save Rob's life basically during nominations. So quite pleased to see how that happened. And I think what's nice is that we can just kind of keep bouncing off Aerith if they target Aerith. I am curious to see what Rob will do here, because I could see Rob kill Claire and I could see Rob kill himself. They will wake up on 4, which will be interesting. And I think if they don't target Aerith tonight, then I will bounce it off Aerith going into final day. But if it'll really come down to what happens tonight, I think. So let's find out.
Would we have a drunk, or would Amy Rose be evil?
Hey.
Hello. Oh God. I feel like hopefully I'm skating by as drunk or potentially spy, but as worlds reduce, if I can survive tomorrow, it might be okay. It's going to be Aerith again, and leave it to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Whew, okay. This is quite interesting. I don't think I will bounce this to Claire, because Claire is sort of the obvious, like everyone trusts Claire. I don't think Claire is really a demon candidate to most people. If I bounce it to another good player, then yeah, if I bounce it to another, so this is actually a tougher decision I think than last night's, because if I bounce it to another good player, then tomorrow is the last chance to nominate and kill the demon, because there will be 1 good player alive and 3 evil players alive. If I bounce it to an evil player, I am taking away their opportunity to get to a final day with 3 evil players alive. Essentially, if I bounce it to an evil player, Claire will die tomorrow night, and final 3 will be Aerith and 2 evil players. Which, is quite fun, but that feels very good-sided from a storytelling standpoint. However, they have had an evil ogre and a way of telling that ogre is evil on the evil team. And so I think setup-wise, this was a very evil-sided setup, and so in that sense, it does make sense to make decisions that are more favorable to the good team. Mayor is a townsfolk ability. We've already used the Mayor ability to kill the Baron. That also, I think, largely helped the evil team, because I do actually think that if we hadn't killed one of Rob or Amy Rose yesterday, Rob probably would have been executed. Whereas killing Amy in the night allowed them to not execute Rob and allowed them to execute a good player instead. So yeah, I think I actually am in agreement with what folks in the chat are saying, that I am weirdly actually between Rob and Will here. And this is what's fun about this is I know as I'm saying this and talking through it that this is a decision that will probably be relatively unpopular with some of the people that go back and watch this, because they're gonna be like, gosh, this storyteller was so helpful to the good team and used the Mayor ability as such a town. Mayor is a townsfolk. I believe this is Pacifist too. Pacifist is a townsfolk. The ability should help the good team. Not necessarily killing 2 evil players, but in this case, what's really tough is that if I kill Rob with it, it goes to Lorinda, and I think people can figure that out. So I think killing Will is potentially more interesting. It's just a really tough decision, because at the end of the day, this decision, like it or not, will have an impact on how the rest of the game goes. I often try, like if I can find a decision where I'm like, oh, both teams will still have sort of equal chances like leading out of this decision, like that's usually my ideal decision. I really don't see a decision in this particular situation that I can make that provides an equal outcome to the direction of the game. Like there's no decision that I could make here where both teams are going to leave this situation having like a roughly equal chance of being able to figure it out and like push the world that they want. So whatever decision I make here is going to have an impact on what happens next. And so what I'm trying to do is think about what's the decision that I can make that's going to be the most fun and that the players will understand the most leading to the end of the game. And I really genuinely don't know what that's going to be, because I think it feels too harsh to kill an evil player, but it also feels too harsh to kill a good player, which is tough. Rob chose not to kill Claire, which is why we're not killing Claire. People think Claire is good. Claire will live. I think what's really okay, where I'm landing is that if I kill Aerith and Claire is the last living evil or last living good player, Town will basically always kill Lorinda over Rob because they think in that world that the roles are swapped, that Rob is the spy and Lorinda's the demon. So we're not killing Claire and we're not killing Aerith, which means we're killing an evil player. And of the evil players, I think probably the best one to kill is Will. But I'm not sure about this. And yeah, I think that's totally right. Like if Rob kills Will, if the kill goes to Will here, which I think is okay, then if Rob targets Aerith again, we'll kill Aerith. Then they end up on a final 3 with Claire, who people think is good, but next to Lorinda, who is evil. And then between Rob and Lorinda, again, I think people think Rob is more likely the spy. This is a tough one. It's very difficult. I don't think any decision here feels like great. But yeah, I think also if we kill Will here, then it gives Rob the option to do a Star Pass tomorrow night if he wants. Whereas if we kill Rob here, Lorinda cannot target him themselves and turn Will into the demon because Will, while evil, is not a minion. So yeah, we're going to kill Will. We're going to send that to Lorinda, and the evil team can go watch this back and find out how much I agonized over this decision. Just so that they know, like, I'm not trying to screw them over by just killing 2 evil people. Like, I genuinely believe this is the most fair and most fun thing that I can do for the players in the game. And it's a tough one, but it is what it is. And yes, as someone says, kill Will rhymes, so that's not so bad. Yeah, so let's wake them up. Good morning. There is a wild donkey trampling all along the southwest rim of the town, and it has trampled upon the head of Will.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
Who died?
Will.
Will.
Died. Yeah.
Interesting.
Star Pass.
So we sleep, right?
Well,
Wait, is it not just
Claire,
Lorinda, Rob?
Wait, how many were there? 4?
4.
Is
The 3 people that voted on Jules, is that not the evil team?
Okay, well, I was trying to catch my friend yesterday, but I didn't manage to, so I'll just say it publicly today. Yeah, Arif is my friend.
Why didn't you just tell me in the first day?
I didn't want that. That wasn't fun. Right? That was not my fun. Like, I wanted to have fun and not, not tell you my fun.
Arif is the demon. I think it's the primo is the spy. Will is evil. And
I think fairly sure Rob is the spy. I have no idea who the demon is.
Have we killed an evil?
I'm not super confident about that.
No,
I think Claire is good.
Yeah, I
think Claire is good.
As evil.
Mainly because Claire is sat next to me and there's a chef one. So,
well, so
I don't want to say she's evil at this point.
So Claire, the chef one comes.
I'm making the chef.
We executed Daniel and then one of his neighbours, and everyone apparently trusts Claire. So like,
we're building so many worlds.
So like in that world, we haven't killed any evils there. Then you're like, okay, both the outsiders have died at night. If they both star passed, like, well, is one evil, one of them not? Like where are your dead evils in that world? Like, is it just me? We can build that world if you want, but I think we have to be really, really scared of the three evils alive situation.
Mm.
But wait.
Well,
With Claire, no,
In
it would
which case?
require. It would still no. For my worlds, we've got the 2 outsider claims are dead. And so if I believe them, I believe my own information and Daniel's information, then we can't have 3 evils alive. So I think Claire's good, but
there's not really evidence of poisoning, so Daniel's information kind of clears Claire.
Yeah, I almost at this point feel like Rob kind of has to be evil.
Yeah.
Because like as kind of Rob is saying, I don't understand like how the worlds fit together if he's good.
Yeah.
But I can't make sense of the from my perspective, I can't make sense of the chef one with who's been left alive.
What's going on with
Could be
Lorinda? No one's
Rob,
talking
Eric,
about
Lorinda.
Yeah, what's no one's talking about Lorinda at all.
That's good. I don't mind.
I mean, we
I
have.
did. I was
talking about worlds where
yesterday.
If we're talking about worlds where we haven't killed an evil, we've got a chef one still alive, so that works, right? With Arif and Rob.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
This
case
is what I'm saying, and this is why I think I'm the recluse and Rob is the spy, Arif is a demon. They didn't want to give you a 2, so they registered it as a 1.
Yeah.
I dispute this theory.
If I'm the spy, then you could give a 0 because you can just go
on your team.
It's okay. The numbers up. We know you're evil. It's fine. Lorinda, what's your case for not being the demon? What's the case for?
I'm the Raven Keeper, and I would love to die tonight and find out who the demon is.
Okay, well
that's my entire case. It's a good case, right? Everyone like that case?
I think we need to nominate today, right? Is town agreed?
Yeah.
So.
I don't agree.
I would vote on Lorinda,
Of course
I think,
you don't, Arif.
for Arif.
I think it might be up to you, Claire.
Arif's Mayor claim doesn't sit well with me if Arif is like a minion here. I think. Sorry, if Arif is the demon.
He's a demon, guys. He's the demon.
Amy, you're winding me up, and I don't like it.
I'm just having fun.
My gut is saying Arif, so I'm going to nominate.
No, wait,
Arif.
no, Claire, no.
Claire has nominated Arif. Go on.
I probably just got that wrong. Never mind. It works with the chef one between Arif and Rob. Rob is more likely a minion, was more willing to die early game. Could easily be Lorinda, in which case I've just got it wrong. Could very well be Arif, Rob.
Rob wanted to nominate a spy as well. Rob wanted to nominate Rob is so
uninterrupted, Amy. Thank you.
This is a talking game. People can say what they want.
In worlds where Rob's been the drunk and has seen a bluff between 2 evils, Arif, that also points to Arif. I don't know. There's no additional information to split these worlds.
All right, Arif.
I feel like anything I say, I'm just gonna get the votes on me now. I'm literally just the mayor. Claire nominating me there makes me think that there's 3 evils alive actually, and that it's the other 3 people. But either way, I would love it if we could just go to a final day. If you think Claire is good, I know I'm good. Let's see if Jams lets it bounce potentially again, because I think that's how Amy died. I don't think the demon kills Amy there in any world, and therefore that's the only thing that's backing me up. Also, why would you put the demon in a librarian ping? It also doesn't. You can do it, but probably not. But yeah, if you want to do it, make it quick.
All right. It takes 2 votes to put Arif up for execution. Starting now.
I just can't see anybody else making a nomination to say that I trust more than this.
Well, you should have voted on your friend.
But we're
I'm not voting on my friend. No,
Alex.
No, this is not right.
It's not.
4 votes is enough, and Arif is about to die.
I mean, I'll nominate Lorinda.
All right.
The only viable demon candidate, I guess, from my perspective. I would love it to tie as well, and then see what Jams does at night. I am genuinely just your mayor. We're probably not going to go for the mayor win tomorrow, but let's get to final 3 and find out, right?
Lorinda.
I'm just a donkey keeper, so I've no real defense to help with other information.
All right. Takes 4 votes to tie, and 5 votes to put Lorinda up for execution instead. Starting now.
Come on, folks, let's tie it. Come on, Rob. Oh, you're evil, Rob. You're so evil.
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
I don't know who it is.
2 votes is not
It's
enough.
not me.
Lorinda or Rob, would either of you like to nominate?
No, thank you.
All right, Aerith is executed. A donkey rushes into the town hall, and Aerith is about to issue a proclamation to the town, but is trampled out. Yeah.
Damn it.
Aerith is executed
What's worse?
and dies, and someone will die in the night, so the game is over. And I would like to congratulate Will's team, the evil team, on their victory.
Wait, so Aerith was evil?
So, Tal,
we won, Aerith.
You have just killed Aerith the mayor,
God damn
who was absolutely right that your ability did go off. We'll get back to that. Those were probably some of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make as a storyteller, and I'm quite pleased that the game got to a point where it did still feel balanced and interesting, because I was really talking through a lot of decision making with chat. So, Aerith, of course, is your mayor. Alex is your undertaker, who was killed on the first night because the town executed George the fortune teller on the first day. George had a sober and healthy no on Alex and Jules, who were both not the demon. And the demon decided, I do not want that undertaker to learn about that fortune teller, so Alex had to die. Claire was your chef with a 1. There was a lot of conversation about that 1. And there are a couple of places that 1 could be. But importantly, that 1 could not involve Will, who is your evil ogre, because Will selected Amy Rose the Baron on the first night of the game. What's really fun about this is that Ogre goes after everything, even spy. So when I showed Lorinda the spy, the Grim on the first day, Lorinda did not learn whether or not Will was evil. Then we had a very interesting situation, because after that, when I was talking to Rob G, your imp, Rob said, you know, I'm not sure. I might kill myself tonight. And if Rob had actually star passed to Lorinda that night, the evil team never would have learned what team Will was on, because Lorinda would have no longer had the spy ability. And so I was like, that would be absolutely bonkers. However, Rob was like, nope, Alex has to go. And so the evil team learned that Will was on their team, but didn't fully out the information to him until several days later. So it was a really interesting process watching the way that the evil team kind of figured out how to bring Will into the loop and how to have those conversations. And that leaves us with Daniel, your empath, who was sober and healthy and got 0s confirming his neighbors, Claire, and Jules, who thought that they were the soldier, but was actually just the drunk all along. And that was our game of That'll Brew Donkey.
I just want to say to Daniel that I did not want to claim to be an outsider as the Baron. I was forced into it by my demon. I was going to claim not an outsider.
But
I never always claimed as the Baron.
Number of times I said you and Rob. Oh, trust my info.
Oh yeah, so that I did want to actually talk about that, because this made things very, very tough from a decision-making perspective, and I thought it was actually quite interesting. So if you do like to, I don't know, if you like to hear lore about mayor bounces, like this is probably a good one to watch back. So essentially, the first time Aerith was targeted was the night that I killed Amy Rose, largely because Rob specifically said, whatever you do, please do not kill Jules. I don't always listen to requests like that, but in this case, I was happy to oblige, mostly because George, as a sober fortune teller, had a no on Jules, and I was like, that matters to the good team. Like, that no is relevant, it's important, and it is a little bit harder to build a Scarlet Woman world than any of the other worlds. And so I was debating, I felt like I could throw it, I basically was between Rob and Amy, which was quite an interesting decision to be making. The following night, Rob targeted you again, and that was easily probably the hardest decision I had to make in the entire game, because essentially I'm sitting here going, there's no decision I can make that will make things like leave the situation feeling sort of balanced. Like, either way, it's going to be a decision that's weighted towards one team or another, and I had to choose basically like, how is this going to work? And so I sort of went through each kill. I was like, if I kill Aerith, Claire is the only good player alive to nominate, and I think she's always going to nominate Lorinda over Rob, just because Rob looks more like the spy, so that would be too strong for evil. I can't kill Claire, because if Rob wanted Claire dead because of the social test, he would have picked Claire. So I'm not killing Claire. Like, Claire gets to live, because if he wanted to kill Claire, he would have killed Claire. So that left 2 evil players. And I was like, but I don't really want to kill an evil player, because I've already killed an evil player using the mayor ability. But at the end of the day, the mayor ability is a townsfolk ability. And if I kill Will, then that gives Rob the option to either keep it or star pass the following night. Whereas if I kill Rob and pass it to Lorinda, then Lorinda is just necessarily the demon. And that felt like it took away too much of the evil team's agency in the game. Plus, if people trust Will as the ogre, then Will's never demon candidate, because he can't catch a star pass. So that was what led us to killing Will there. But I did really enjoy when people are going like, have we even killed any evil players? And I'm just like, yeah, there's 2 dead. So yeah, that was how that happened.
Yeah, but we didn't kill them.
That's true. I did. Yeah, Aerith did.
Great job.
Can I ask Jams one final very quick question?
Oh my god.
Would you have let it bounce one more time if we had tied that? If we had like got 4 alive, would you have done it? Probably would have been executed final
I
point,
might have. I think it would have depended on how people were talking about it genuinely. Like, I had thought about it both ways, because I do think there's an argument that like Rob kills Claire there, because Claire has so much social trust. And so I think that if he kills Claire, great, Claire dies. I think if he kills you, that's him telling me like, no, actually I want this mayor dead, and I probably would have expected that, especially because I had just used the mayor ability to kill 2. And like, in that situation, if you die, Claire is an alive, trusted, good player on the final day. So yeah, I think in hindsight, thinking about that, if that had been a decision I was going to make, I would have let it go through on you and given them, basically Claire gets that 50-50 between Lorinda and Rob.
Amazing.
I decided on day 1 that if I died fairly early, I told Rob if this was a choice that he could make, but it ends up framing him, so he didn't. But I was going to see Aerith as the drunk, just to make things really nasty for Aerith.
That would have been really funny.
Well, especially because with Jules being executed instead of killed in the night, like drunk, it could very well be Aerith. That's awesome. Cool.
Wow.
I also hard claimed only one person for like days, and it was Rob. So
yeah, I mean, we all knew you were the drunk, but I was telling Rob, well, I was like, firstly I said we should kill you because then it gives the poison a whirl and people are looking at their information being poisoned. But then I was like, no, the frame has got to be you and Daniel for a while until we execute you.
Cool.
Well done, Evie.
I'll also say that giving Recluse as a bluff was a trap with the chef one.
It was. It actually ended up being a bit of a mess.
And also, I was very much like messaging throughout the night. I kept messaging George first, then messaging you. That's why I was asking if I was your marionette, George, so that I could then message Rob and find out what the bluffs were.
Yeah, that was that was great. I did Recluse as a bluff was an interesting one because I think it really depends what direction you claim it in, and I was like, you have a spy, so you can think about it, and I also was like, you have a spy, so if you don't like the bluffs, you can take totally. I did not actually expect you guys to take the 3 bluffs that I gave, and the fact that even with a spy you did, I was like, okay, maybe they're not so bad after all, because I was doubting a little bit. But yeah, I was like, with Recluse, it's quite interesting because you could have Lorinda claim it, which puts the suspicion over here. If Rob claims it, then that makes him look good with like Amy potentially being the one that's evil, which might line up if Amy decides to out evil. But it was, I think the way that it ended up being claimed, I was like, oh yeah, that's the one that is kind of a trap. So for that, I am sorry.
I think what happened is Rob and Amy sorted it out in the night before they knew there was a spy, and they'd gone their own separate ways before they'd even spoken to me. So Amy was like, no, we're doing this. You know, this is what's happening because this is what we've already decided. It made sense not to interfere with that because
change it later on.
Very similar to the game we played on Wednesday over at TPI, where I was sitting next to the other minion, and the 2 of us were like, oh, let's marionette my neighbor Karen, and we're gonna go. But like first thing, I just completely boned it and was like, Karen, the Emerald's my other minion. Like, I'm the Fangu. Emerald's the Ceranovis. He made this person mad. I wouldn't know that. Like, immediately screwed it up. And then we somehow still won. So, it's all in good fun. Alrighty. Well, I am going to go say goodbye to chat and slowly send them over to TPI. But if everyone wants to wave goodbye, and then I will go talk to them for like a minute about nothing. Yay!
Bye,
Thank you
chat.
all. Bye. All right, so that was absolutely bonkers. I think I'm quite happy with how Ogre plays on Trouble Brewing. Definitely at a 10-player count with an evil Ogre, that's going to be a tougher game for your good team. But all in all, I still think everyone seemed to have a lot of fun, and we learned a lot about mayor bounces along the way, so it doesn't hurt. The price to pay for a donkey ravaging the entire town. Right, so I will send you all to the goodbye screen, and depending if TPI has started up yet, we can send you over there as well. But yeah, thank you all so much, and I will see you around next week, same time. See you there. And this is the part where I just do random filler chat while I remember what buttons that I'm pressing to send you to the end screen.